Good to see everybody. Still hard at it. Easy pedaling here for just our next couple of minutes, and then we'll ease into a little bit of a structured build. Remember, I know you, everybody warms up at a little bit different rate. Some of you, I think, have been on the bike already half an hour. A couple coffees still being drank there. But as you get feeling your legs rolling over properly, do bring it up from around that first hopping on the bike, rolling out of bed. I always call that sort of a 3 out of 10 up to 5 out of 10, 50% in the first little bit at your own rate. We've got a few more minutes. And actually, if you are following our video series, we have some new graphics that I think reflect the efforts. They have always been up in the past videos, but now we're sort of giving them some color. And I always think of this as way below our kind of turning into yellow, orange, red, cool colors. Not too much effort. And just starting to feel the blood move around the legs, getting her going for the day. We are going to be doing a variety of cadence changes in here, all around at that Everesting type pace effort you guys are familiar with, been following along. 70 to 75%-ish, but delivered at different rates of velocity. So finding your comfort level, thinking of it as different grades if you want to do that, different gears. So everybody now, if you're not at 50%, let's try and bring it up there. Preferred cadence, 90 to 100. Out on the road this week, we will be doing another day of climbing and going through some of the motions, getting in some meters of climbing with a posse. So that is happening this week. We did a good sort of 3 hours of climbing last time. We'll do 4 this time. And again, kind of along the lines of doing something where we can do repeats up and down and not have anyone disappearing too far away because of the different ranges and abilities. So seems to work out well that way for everybody. Okay, last minute, 50%, everybody's there now. Nudge that gear up, 90 to 100 RPM. Do a little top to bottom, relax shoulders. I was watching someone ride last night, very, very rigid through their upper body and naturally have a hard time keeping the bike steady. So you want to be thinking about being relaxed, not a lot of weight on the handlebars, you're guiding the bike. Ride different bikes, you all know that. And it's another thing coming up. We have gone into another little partnership with BC Bike Race to help them with their gravel stage race coming up in a few months' time. So we'll be doing a training program, but also some rides that people can join in for that. A little bit of training rides. I think that'll be lots of fun. Okay, everybody, we'll do a little bit of a through and off kind of warm up. So at your comfortable cadence, you're at 50%. We're just going to do little lifts using cadence and gear to nudge ourselves into 60%, 70%, and then we're ready to get into our workout proper, okay? So in 30 seconds, less than 30 seconds now, I'm just going to have you increase the cadence first time to bring up the effort level. If you're on a device that adjusts the wattage as you change the cadence, let's just give that app a little talking to and bring in about 20 more watts. In 2, 1, roll it up. 5 to 10 RPM. Little bit livelier leg speed. Good, keep it turning over. Tick, tick, tick. Another 30 seconds. Nice and relaxed, everybody. Just starting to feel the legs. We finished off pretty late last night, so I know my legs feel what I like to call soggy. Not really loving turning around in circles. 10 more seconds. Just the way you like it, Donna. Finish at 9 o'clock. Hop on the bike again in the morning. Okay, back down to 50%. It's important to know that about yourself. Some people really good in the mornings, get the best out of themselves. Some people not so much, maybe better in the evening. When you're doing an event or changing time zones for something, it actually does become a thing where you're changing your whole body's rhythm, and you have to do little adaptations for that. Lots of times when you have a really, really early fondo event and you're a non-early morning person, you want to do a little bit of practice getting up earlier so that you don't feel quite so out of sorts. Let's do it by gear this time. Bring it up to 60%. Hold your cadence steady. In 2, 1, click up a gear. Doing a minute. Good, relax those shoulders. A little bit more gear. Gives us the opportunity to feel more pressure into the pedals. A little bit more workload on the legs. 30 more seconds. Good job, hold it right here. Nice turnover. 15 seconds. Job, everyone, a little bit more. A little bit more. 3, 2, let's go back to 50%. Touch down on it again. Back that gear off a little bit. You know the way it works with warm up. You bring in a little bit of load. Everything kind of opens up. You feel a little bit of tightness created. Back off. Move the blood around. Next time up there doesn't feel so bad. Okay. We're going to roll it up again. Back up over your 60% using cadence. A little shorter this time. In 20 seconds. Right from your 50. If you're needing to have a little bit harder gear right now, get ready for the efforts. You can bring it up a little bit. In 2, 1, cadence. 5 to 10 RPM. Up, up. Eyes up. Keep that back nice and straight. Don't hunch over. Give yourself room, space to breathe. 5 more seconds. 3, 2, back down. A little bit shorter, like I said. You can adjust the gear again. Back up to 60%. Bring that gear up, 60%. We're gonna go from there. Last couple of little moves. Okay, a little higher number. Settle into it. Think about your feet. A little bit more pressure behind the pedals. Let the ankles move. We're going to dance around this for a little while. Going to increase the cadence. 5 to 10 RPM. From this gear, 2, 1, up, up. Watch that number come up, or feel it come up. Getting good by feel now. Good job, guys. Last 10 seconds. Awesome, drop it back to 60%. Gonna give me a gear change, right up to your 70% number. 15 seconds. Your comfortable cadence. Bring that gear up. In 2, 1, up, up. Come on, last little bit here. Just feeling closer to what the effort will be in our climbs. Got lots. Short little pieces to do. Making one big piece. Okay, first time doing this. Remember, tightness you may feel, opening up the channels, pushing a little bit, and back it off. 60% again. Do another one of those. Good. Take the time, each time you make an adjustment, just to check in with yourself. And right back up to that 70% number. In 2, 1, start bringing the gear up. Second time, getting a bit more familiar. Watch your shoulders. No turtling. Let's hold it this time. Another 20 seconds. Good. Take note. Pressure behind the feet. When we're on a climb, lots of times trying to sustain an effort, if you can just get to a point, keep them the same, focus on keeping your rhythm the same, gear the same, you won't change around in your effort output too much. All right, we're gonna go back to easy. 2, 1, and bring it all the way down. Easy. So one of the things doing this Olympic preparation, to talk about it now, which I've done more times now than actually ride myself. My 6th time being involved in some way, shape, or form. But once again, there are going to be athletes that don't know they're going until 3 weeks before. And I don't know, need to dig into that a little bit. It's always to do with a bunch of complicated elements. One thing we do know, and this is exciting, for the first time in many years, really, we have someone who is a full-on contender for the men's road race. Michael Woods. The course suits him. They're trying to build the team around him, which makes perfect sense. And the fun part, too, is the team director for the Olympic team for the road events is none other than Steve Bauer. And, of course, when Michael Woods won his world World's medal, 2018, it was the first time since Steve had done it. So what a nice little loop as we go into these games. Okay guys, I want you just to bring up the gear one time for me, and we're gonna do a little standing set just to make sure that we fired up the muscles that we recruit when we are standing, because each set you're going to be using them, doing a little standing piece from a bunch of different cadences. The effort will be around the same. So if you can make sure you have whatever you're comfortable with for recruiting the muscles, you don't have to be in a big gear. We're gonna do a little short up down, get those quads involved. So if 60% is fine for you to get on top of the pedals, do so. A little bit more than that. Just want you to be able to feel the change up in the muscle utilization, okay? We're gonna stand in 3, 2, 1. Nice and centered on the bike. Eyes up. Fully extending that leg so that your big muscles get a bit of a break. In 2, 1, back down. Short little touchdown. And we're gonna do it again. Just around the clock. We're gonna keep doing around 20 seconds. In 2, 1, up, up. Those of you who are really comfortable with this, that's great. You have this little tool that you can use. So those of you that still don't like the feeling that much, want to just keep working at it in little bits. Then touch down again, back down. You want to be able to do it and use it for recovery when needed. Use it to stretch out. Trying to maintain a pace. Want to be able to do it this way as well. So we're not accelerating in this situation. Up, up, back again. Awesome. Good, you're not leaning on the handlebars. Lots of core engagement. A little bit more. 2, 1, back down. Talking about Michael Woods, coming from a very elite running background, very developed in the quads, and we'll tend to stand more than some other riders, come from different sports or different backgrounds. Again, 2, 1. Nice, guys. Get a bit more relaxed with this. I don't really care the output in this warm-up piece. Just getting the mobility going. Last one, touchdown. And one more. Not using a lot of gear. If you want to back off the gear for this last one, that's fine too. Last one. Up, up. Awesome. 10 more seconds. Eyes up. 3, 2, back down, and gear off. Okay, getting into our main sets. So, we're going to be doing 5 times through this set with a little piece of recovery after each one. So just to get you to reset, and also you'll be spending some of this time just resetting your cadence, finding that new turnover of your legs. We're riding all of this in that 70 to 75% range, which is your hour power. We're starting 2 minutes at 70 cadence, so a lower end of your efficient climbing cadence, those of you with ample gears, you probably are able to use a good variety of cadences on your, say, 4%, 6% grades. Steeper, we all get challenged with the turnover and becomes less efficient to try and turn over at a really high rate anyway, except for the odd person that has really developed well in that area. But we've talked about that. We're trying to find what's best for us, but we're exploring these ranges. So 2 minutes, hour power, 70 RPM. You're going to increase the effort. This is going to come up by winding it up 5 to 10 RPM. You're going to go back to tempo right here. You're going to stand for 30 seconds and stand on the pedals, bringing the effort up a little bit. Don't worry about the number, but it will lift a little bit in effort, and then to a 1 minute easy. So you got that little break in the climb, take a little bit of it easy, and then bring the gear back, and then start to find your next cadence. You're gonna go through it again using 80 cadence, a little bit higher turnover. Imagine the grade a little less steep, or backing off the gear right through it the same way. And then at 90 cadence, your highest cadence for this piece of work, and then we'll come back down, 80 and 70, okay? I wanna start this, if everybody's good with that. You've all got, yeah, one of those, thank you, can hear me? Okay, we're gonna settle in. First one, we're going in 15 seconds, so 70 RPM is your first little bit of business, and bringing the gear up. We're starting our 2 minutes, just over 5 seconds. I'm gonna keep reminding you to drink. In 2, in 1. Let's get into this first set, and it's gonna be fairly relentless. There's only those little breaks. It doesn't feel like massive output, being at 70 to 75%, but it's enough, and it's gonna build on you. Turn up the tunes a little bit if that's what helps you throughout these efforts. Get into your head and count the rhythm, whatever else might work for you. Think about some of those things you do out on climbs to keep you generating that power, not backing off. Even though these are broken up into small pieces, it still adds up to a lot of climbing. You've got another minute here, going at this tempo, going at this rhythm. 70 cadence, a little bit on the low side, but we're not fully into strength efforts. Nicely done, everyone. Got that rhythm. Can usually talk and clip sentences when we're at this effort. That's going to change a little bit in the next minute coming up. I want you to embrace it this first time through. Good job. Okay, we're gonna wind up the cadence. Your increase, 5 to 10 RPM. Don't change the gear, but do add watts if you need to on your device. Here we go. Up, up. Bringing it right up. 75 to 80 cadence. Effort increases. First 20 seconds done. Don't go too high, because I want you to be able to come all the way back to that 70-75% for the next 2 minutes. You're just using this little bit of relaxed grade, or maybe a push with your training partners. 10 seconds to go. And then we're back to tempo, coming up in 3, 2, 1, 70 RPM. This is your bike outside. Dropping back to the cadence is going to bring your effort level down. Lots of the trainers will do that. Some of them, you have to make that adjustment. Another whole 90 seconds here. Really good. Get reconnected with the amount of pressure you need into your pedals. Recompose. Feeling the rhythm again. Try not to hang your head. Always looking ahead. Keep the shoulders relaxed. Lots of core engagement. Easy to focus on everything while we're inside. And we're just gonna take these same principles outside. Once we get through this first effort, all the rest feel doable. Okay guys, locked right in here. Coming up to our last 30. You practiced your form in the standing. We're gonna visit that, and this time not dropping the effort, maintaining around the same. Breathe, keep your breathing even. Hand position, wherever you feel you're not falling over the front of the bike, and you can keep nice and centered. 5 seconds. 2, 1, come on, up on top of it. Nice activation. Hip flexors, helping your legs turn over. Fully extending, getting that bit of a break. Just over 10 seconds now. Awesome, guys. Keep it lively. Not bogging down. In 3, 2, 1. Give yourself a break. It's only 60 seconds. Part of it easy, part of it finding your new cadence. Next RPM is going to be 80. We talked over the years about British athletes because there has been a huge era on the road of our, used to be Team Sky, many years. Got a Bradley Wiggins fan here and Sally, and of course Geraint Thomas. But on the mountain bike scene, we now have a new revelation who apparently is the best thing ever to come out of Britain, and that's Tom Pidcock. And he's going to be one of the favorites for the gold. Now he has a spot for the mountain bike. Here we go, guys. 80 cadence. Back to that hour power. Bring it up for me. And settle in. 70, 75%. A little bit more velocity to generate the power. We're doing this. You get to explore, and you'll get familiar with where you're the most efficient. When we're doing this as a requirement in the intervals, gives you an opportunity to get the feeling, and when you're out on your bike, might go, yeah, you know what? I'm really good at that 80 RPM when I'm on a hill. That's what I want to strive for. Almost 30 seconds, guys. Come on. 70, 75. Clipped sentences, but still some words can come out. You've done 30 seconds already. I know for me, this feels like a really familiar kind of climbing rate. I like to push a little bit bigger gear, probably from my background the disciplines I've done, the era of riding where we didn't have any gears. Okay, another minute to go here. Keep it nice and crisp. In that 80 range. Don't let yourself get bogged down. Learn what that means. Over the years, over time, you'll get, so you've done enough work, you can identify these ranges by feel. Check in with the numbers. Less than 30 seconds now. This is the hard part where we blow some lactate into the legs, and then we're trying to come back and resume our tempo. It's something your mind has to get used to, and your legs. In 10 seconds, you're gonna pick it up, 5 to 10 RPM, 85 to 90, in 3, 2, 1, roll it up. Come on. Dig in a little bit. Dig in. You're right there now. Best part of 45 seconds. Still to go. Eyes up. Keep it positive. Someone's giving you a little push. You're keeping up, or you're on your own, dictating the pace. A little bit less than 15 seconds. Gonna go back to tempo. This transition means you're catching it on the way down. Back to that 80 RPM. In 3, 2, 1, 80 RPM. 2 minutes. If you're on a bike, you have to adjust. Make sure you're back to that hour power number. Settle into the rhythm. Recover, recover. Bit of an ask. 90 seconds to go. Focus on this climb. Really good, guys. Pick a landmark. Pick a landmark on the road. I like on our big climbs around here, we have those posts with the kilometer marks. Always good to be looking towards those. Tick them off. That's the way your brain works. Maybe you look for people up ahead. You got less than a minute like this. Keep it right at that hour power. Don't let it drop off. Come on. This is dipping into your stores a bit, but you still are working with enough oxygen that you can keep that lactate at bay. That's what makes you feel like you want to slow down. But we're training where that happens, where it happens, and also up here where you feel you have to back off to it. Okay? In 2, in 1, standing up. Good job, guys. Give me a whole 30 seconds. Last little bit. 20 to go. We started that just a little bit early. I want you to stay with it. 15 more seconds. Good job. Keep yourself balanced. 3, 2, 1, and easy. Give yourself a little break. Give yourself a little break. Gonna start the next one at a 90 cadence. You measure how much you want to take Really easy out of this minute. Find your cadence. This cadence start is going to be around that efficient kind of turnover that you're doing in your recovery anyway. So just manage that a little bit. You're going to start bringing the gear in now. Back to our 75%. Hold on to that 90 RPM. 2 minutes tempo. We're right here again. 2 minutes, hour power, 90, cadence in 2, 1. Here we go, come on. Get that gear in there. Just teasing it around a little bit. A little bit of increase in watts, a little bit of change in technique. Good job, everyone. Eyes up, chest open. Feeling like your back is nice and straight, not falling over the bike. Play around with your hand position. Nice velocity now. Turning this gear over. Feels different. Maybe a little lower grade. Coming up to a minute. Tick, tick, tick. Keep that turnover. Keep that turnover. 90 RPM. Next one, we're going to be bringing it up to where some of us are a little bit uncomfortable generating the power. Almost 30 seconds to go. This is the push in here coming up. Keep that power steady. Answering a little push, either directed by you, instigated by someone else you're riding with, or you're just using the grade to get a little bit more leg speed and keep the power output with a little bit of a push. In 2, 1, 95 to 100 RPM. Come on, guys. Up, up. Think you can. This is seated. Unless you need to stand and stretch. Pushing up the power. 45 seconds. This is the hard minute in this 5.5 minute block. Good job, guys. Go with this. Go with it. Come on, a little bit of a smile might help. A smile grimace. 15 seconds. Push, push. 10 to go. But we're going back to tempo. 90 RPM coming up. In 3, 2, 90 RPM. Catch it on the way down. Recover, recover. Pretty big output. Take the first 30 seconds. Give yourself a little reconfiguration. Good. 30 done. Getting faster and faster up your climbs. Remember, it doesn't get any easier, especially when we're working at percentages that we own and are increasing. You're getting better and better. A few seconds at a time. Measure your climbs. You're going to be less than 45 seconds coming up here. Little top to bottom check. Come on. Relax the face, shoulders. Push through it. Come on. Dig deep. We're right at the middle of our sets here. Gonna be on the good side. Made it through 3 almost. Less than 30 seconds now. Eyes up. Good. Look where you want to go. Always ahead of the bike. Where your eyes are matters. Drags you down when you look at the ground. Think like a cloud. Keep it high. Here we go. We're going to stand up. Finish this one off. 2, 1. Come on, get on top of that gear. Ride with purpose. Ride it like you mean it. Last 10 seconds coming up. Come on. You all look like climbers. It's happening. 3, 2, 1, and easy. Back it off. Next one's going to be at 80 cadence. So find a comfortable recovery cadence in the first 20 to 30 seconds, then start to think about that adjustment. You will learn to recover with these little bits. It's really valuable to be able to use it, mentally look forward, have a drink now as soon as you've got your breath back. "30 seconds into the next one. Okay, 80 cadence. Back to our hour power. Start finding it right now. 2 minutes tempo. Bring the gear up. Come on now, think you can. This is the last 2. In 2, 1, 80 cadence. Hour power. Settle in. Nice crisp climbing cadence. I'm sure you're using this a lot when you're actually riding outside on your climbs. Focus on your feet for a little bit. Ankles, giving you some movement. There's still lots of us riding that are stomping a little bit on the downstroke, not pulling through the bottom of the pedal stroke, wiping your foot up around the back. We want to try and achieve that. Everybody, whatever your level is, you want to get the most power out of your pedal stroke. You want to practice that. Think about it. You've done a minute at tempo. Hold on to this. Less than 60 seconds before our hard minute comes up. Bring the shoulders down. Everybody. Yeah. Constantly. I have to tell myself too. Don't want to see tension in your back. Neck and back. If you don't relax it, I hope you're doing some of Shannon's core exercises. It's short. Take care of those body parts, but some of it is just tension. Some of it, we're just putting ourselves in deficit by riding around all tight. My first girls all complained of that when they were getting used to the road bike or whatever bike. In 3, 2, 1, 5 to 10 RPM. Come on, push it up. Come on, guys. Find it. Don't have to go beyond it. Although now, closer to 10 RPM. Give yourself that challenge. Pushing it up. Around your 80% number now. Hard wattage for this part. Hold on to it. 20 more seconds. Come on, guys, close to that 90 RPM. Holding that gear. Using this little piece of road. If nothing else, to to look forward to when you go back to the easier pace again. In 3, 2, 1, 80 cadence. Come on, recover, recover. You can do it. Looking more and more like composed, adept climbers. Think about what you look like. Helps a lot for you to identify if you are relaxing, if you are wasting energy, if there is something you could do differently. Good, hold on to that 80 cadence. This is our second last one. You are getting stronger. You are developing that hour power. Whether the number is actually coming up or just your ability to ride through it, all works. Same result. Less than 60 seconds. Come on, hold that 80 cadence. You got one more after this, and then just some little short, fast blips. Don't worry about that. We're in our last minute. We're almost in our last 30 seconds. Play around with your hand position. Any change is good. Here we go. This time I want you to stand on the pedals a little bit. Let's make this transition into the last 5 minutes a little bit harder. When I say stand on the pedals, not trying to recover as much, giving a little push over the top of the climb, mentally charging a little bit, physically hopefully as well. In 2, 1, come on. Pick up the tempo a little bit. Drive it over the top, right into that downhill. Come on, guys. Eyes forward. Looking for that finish line. Almost at the crest. You don't want to back off until we're on the other side. On the downhill, 2, 1, easy. Back it off. Recover, recover. Last one. Comfortable cadence for the first bit. Feel your breathing come down. Okay, have a little drink. We're going in 30 seconds. And this is our last one. Bring the cadence down to 70 now. We're back here, exactly the same as our first time through. 70 cadence, hour power number. In here, 2 minutes. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Get that gear back on. Come on. Always want to finish strong. Now guys, feel those hamstrings. Got a little bit more gear. Pulling a bigger gear around. Same output, but I want you to be towards the top of all the levels. Good job, everyone. Best part of a minute now. Come on, drive that knee up towards the handlebar. Downstroke strong. All good at that. Gravity assisted. Pull it through and into the back. Enjoy this feeling. Feeling strong, capable on the bike is a great thing to take away with you. Everything you do. Come on, just over 30 seconds now. Want to feel as nimble as we can, even though we're pushing this fairly big gear around. You're going to do your cadence increase, 5 to 10 RPM. We're almost there. Then the last 2.5 minutes, more about trying to get that rhythm back as we have the rhythm breaker. In 3, 2, 1, come on. Try and make it 10 RPM this time. Hold the gear, push it up. Someone ahead of you, we're riding up to them. Little bit of a charge. Come on, guys. Keep it focused. Watch the shoulders. Soft through the elbows. Everybody's hurting. In it together. Gonna be going back to tempo in 15 seconds. Come on, guys, you got this. Push, push, push. Push, push, push. Remember, we're not trying, we're doing in 2, 1, tempo. 2 minutes. 70 cadence. Pick that next point on the road. We like to do it by time. Little increments. Hold that rhythm. Hold that rhythm. As long as you don't change the gear, as long as you keep the leg speed the same, speed on the bike, we'll be there. Come on, guys. Let's eat up the road. Just about a minute. We're gonna drive over the top, and then we're gonna be done. This big set of work. Okay? Hold on to it with me. 70 RPM. Everybody's legs hurt. Don't want to pay attention to that. Focus on the pressure through your feet. Focus on positive things. Drive out anything that makes you think you can't do it. 30 seconds. And use that when you're out. You're out riding. Here we go, guys, come on. Last 10 seconds coming up. In this drive over the top, play around with your hand position. Let's get a little bit low, a little bit fierce. Driving for the line. 2, 1. Up, up. Start with your standing. And then we're gonna pick it up as though we're sprinting for the line. 15 seconds. Pick up the tempo. Last 10. Right over the top. Right into the downhill. Come on, everyone. Push, push. In 3, 2, and 1. Settle down. Back off the gear. Turn the pedals over. Recover. Recover. Okay. So it is fun going back over all the athletes for the Olympics. I've been doing interviews, and consistent messages are, bye Donna, consistent messages how they have to get their heads around that expectation, that knowledge that they're gonna have to dig. You heard it called the pain cave. There definitely is that. Going into a hard place, pulling it out. Now we've just finished a good solid over 30-minute effort there, and we're just gonna tweak it at the top here with a few short, fast efforts. We're just gonna do a 30-second, 45-second, 60-second. I want them at your 85%. We're not gonna take a lot more recovery, 30 more seconds. This is one of those things at the end of an event when you need to dig that extra little bit. We're just getting used to it. Preferred cadence, you're probably there right now. I'm just over my 90. Gonna bring the gear up, and I want you to bring it right up to your 85%. First one might be a little bit light, but let's try and get to that feeling. 5 seconds. Keep bringing the gear up. Big push now. 2, 1, up, up. Come on. Wind it up. This is where you gotta be strong in your commitment. Up, 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 up. Come on, last 15 seconds. All right, right there. Hold on. Less than 10. 3, 2, easy. Back it right off. Back the gear off. I'm not trying to give you a ton of work here. A lot of this is just reinforcement that you can do this when you ask yourself to. You're gonna go in less than 15 seconds. Start finding your cadence again. This one is 45 seconds. Come on, bring that gear up, up, up. Going in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Come on, dig into it. Use gear, use cadence. Find your 85% number. All the way now, 30 seconds, come on. Come on. Push, push. Almost at 15 to go, come on. Drive it, eyes up. Come on, you want this prize. 10. Clock's ticking over. Your goal is right there. 3, 2, 1. Easy, easy. Many years ago, when I was a runner and trying to break 3 hours, one of the times, coming down the straightaway, looking at the clock at 2:58, 50 something, 2:59. Was the first time I got under 3 hours, but man, I found a sprint for that last little bit, I can tell you that. Okay guys, 15 seconds. Preferred cadence. 60 seconds to go. In 3, in 2, in 1. This is your last one. Come on, everyone. Wind it up. Keep it manageable. Find your number. And here we go now, 45 seconds. You can do anything. Stay with me on this. Drive, drive, 30 seconds. Easy one to count down. Come on, everyone. Little bit of cadence, maybe. Help you get through it. 15. Right past the finish line. Get those last few seconds. Come on, you've done it. In 5, 3, 2, and off. recover, recover. Whew. Turn the legs over, nice and easy. Sit on the bike if you can for as many as 10 minutes would be great. If you can't, just do best you can for a few here, really feeling that you're starting to build into your recovery. Have a drink. So one thing that would be great is if any of you have interesting little things you would like to hear, say, imagine that you're watching the games and watching cycling, and there's things that you wonder about. Now, problem with most of you is you're actually pretty versed in the sport, watching it for a while, followed it for a while, but even if you are, there might be things that I can build into helping people understand. The one thing that happens with the Olympics is a lot of people know nothing about the sport. And so we have to quite often be explaining things kind of from front to back, not so much any sort of nuances of strategy and things like that. Not quite so much of that. We've got a little bit more keeping it at a level that people can absorb it when they haven't followed it their whole lives. Unlike some of the people on the internet. I keep it turning over here. As I mentioned at the beginning, I think most of you probably heard, but just a reminder, we are going to do a training program with BC Bike Race for their gravel event that's happening in the fall. And so just there'll be a training program up on their site that we're going to help write, and there are going to be rides of different terrain that will help people get ready for that. But even if you're not doing the event, by all means, welcome to partake in that if you're somewhere nearby. And we'll also have some versions on Strava, on the island, the Okanagan, different places so people can find a ride. Okay, for the workout today, that's a wrap.